Hello all. So first off, I feel like I'm always doing this, but I want to apologize for the most likely bad video angle. My camera's being extra finicky today, or at least my hands are, or whatever. Usually I can, before I start, figure it out, but that was not to be. So anyway, first off, I came to confess my wrongdoings, and then I'll get into the topic today, which, well, honestly, mercifully short. And okay, I guess I know I'm looking at the camera because it's like killing my eyes, so that's why you're seeing them squinted. Y'all, the struggles today. So first off, the confession. Yes, I'm aware the last couple of videos I told y'all I was going to be doing something weekly. And yes, I'm aware it's been a couple months. So, little story time with that. It's like the never-ending struggle. So first, I did have a video. I was like halfway through making this video that was going to go up, like, I don't know, back in November, I think. And I was like halfway through making it, and I didn't like it. And my plan was to give it a day, come back to the drawing board, give y'all a video that you'd actually want to watch, and that made sense. And then I didn't. And then Thanksgiving happened. I had people here. I got this terrible sinus infection that I thought was the virus. It was not the virus, but I sounded horrible for like a couple weeks until it was gone. And then I had crazy Christmas plans that lasted a couple weeks. Not crazy, but busy, I guess. Different things that lasted a couple weeks. Then I went to go be in a wedding, which is partly what this is about today. And then I got the virus for real, which luckily wasn't too bad. For those who are on my Facebook, I talked about it some on there. But at the same time, it's kind of a pain to try to record when you're blowing your nose and when you're coughing all the time and whatever. No one wants to watch that. So, yeah, it was like one thing after another. But now we're back. So that's my confession of my absence. Now for an actual topic, because I am tired of just posting "why am I not here" videos. So today's topic is on new ways of traveling with a service dog in tow. And I know a lot of people, so for those who are not in the service dog community, there's been a lot of back and forth really this last year, more like a year and a half, because airlines have started developing some requirement. Actually, no, it's been longer than that. It's been a few years, but last I would say years when it finally came into play. But this has been in debate now for several years. But they've had more requirements about traveling with service dogs. And I used to think, this is a pain. Why are we doing this? But in a way, it makes sense when you stop and think about it. Because you have people who want to travel with their little, or not always little, but their pet. And for those who don't know, you can buy... Sorry, I'm trying to find a better... Okay. I just realized I have my finger over my camera lens, and not that this probably changed anything, but yeah. You can buy service dog equipment on Amazon, or I don't know, there's other websites too. You can just buy it. Whether you have one or not, you can just say, I want this, and you can get it. So people have. You can also order paperwork, too, and IDs from different websites and stuff. It's really easy to do, whether it's a service dog or not. So, airlines have finally started coming up with regulations, and I took my first airplane flight a couple weeks ago in 3 years. Was not looking forward to it. Not so much because of pandemic stuff. Like, that part, I feel like we've been going through this long enough. It was time. Like I said, I caught the virus from it, but it was time. But more, yeah, because this, how would the service dog things go? And what makes it interesting, so two things. One, the interesting part, like, I don't know how you're going to handle this part. But two, the good news of it, or bad, depending on how you look at it. I thought it was good for my purposes. So one, every airline seems to handle it differently. I was supposed to fly on one airline, and I won't name names, just I don't want to give any misinformation in case people have a different experience. But I was supposed to fly on one airline in August. That trip got canceled, but I already, before that, planned to go and this, that, whatever. And I had to fill out a form, submit the form, wait for the form to get approved, this, that, whatever. However, when I flew on this trip, that actually did happen a couple weeks ago, I flew a totally different airline. Said on there I was going to have a service animal with me. Waited for a form to come for me to fill out, and form never came. And I knew it wasn't a clerical error because I got there and they confirmed when I checked in, you have a service animal. I'm like, yep. I said, okay. That's all they asked. They didn't ask for anything, no papers, where's your form, nothing. So they were really chill. Meanwhile, the one back in August, it didn't happen. Like I said, I had to email back and forth to where to find the form. They wanted the form filled out. However, form was really interesting to find. It was like buried in the website. I can't even tell you now how I found it. But it was buried. But the questions were really interesting. The questions were very, I couldn't make this up, which is a little scary. Because all I asked was, what was your dog's last, vaccine? Or are they up to date on their vaccination status, whatever? And you put the date it expired, which I just had on his rabies certificate. And it asked for my vet's phone number, as well as the phone number of the agency that trained him, which I put down. It asked for, his name, his breed, his weight, which I put down. But it was obvious you could just put down whatever because it got approved very quickly. And I was like, did they check this? And as far as an agency, I mean, I have some friends who own or train their own service dogs. I have not yet. I have thought about it. It'd be intriguing, but I have not. But I mean, literally, you could just put your own name and number down. Because based on how quick everything got approved, it was obvious they don't have time, which is understandable, to make phone calls. I guess it's in case something happens, mainly. But all that to be said, this is just a personal experience, like pretty much everything I post on here. So I'd be curious to know if people have had different experiences. But all that to be said, it looked daunting when you look at it. But once you fill it out, it really wasn't. And like I said, this time around, when I actually traveled for real, I didn't even fill it out. So yeah, that's kind of the update with travel when you have a service dog with you. I know, not really impressive, not really much to report, right? Pretty okay, that's it. But that is the deal. So all that to be said, I guess what I want to leave you with that is, if you're curious about it and haven't heard of this, I definitely encourage you to read up on it. I believe you actually can still fly with your pet legally if they can fit under the seat in a carrier, this, that, whatever. But like I said, this is to prevent people from bringing their dog for free if they're a pet, or if they're too big for the airplane and this, that, whatever, because sadly it was a problem. You wouldn't think it would, but it was. So what I originally thought was a negative thing that I had to do because of other people's, sorry, I almost dropped the camera. It slipped. Anyway, what I thought was going to be negative really isn't a big deal. At least wasn't for me. But I will say, some people may have different experiences. So I'd love to hear if people have had those. Also, every airline is different. Because like I said, my two experiences, even though I only flew the one, my two experiences were totally different. So encourage other people to share their experiences. Definitely curious how people's experiences were. But also do your homework, because every airline is different. So that is what I got. Thanks for those who have still stuck with me, even with my disappearing acts. I would say that I plan to put something else next week, but I'm not going to make any promises that apparently I'm not able to keep. And maybe if I don't promise it, maybe then it won't happen. We'll go with that idea. Maybe that'll actually work in my favor. But that's what I got. So until next time.